is up, everybody? Hope you are doing good. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. And guys, I am pumped for this video because it is the CRJ-550 and CRJ-700 by Aerosoft, and it got released about an hour ago. So I want to say thank you to Airsoft for providing me a copy of this for free. So shout out to them. But I do want to say it's not going to include the Smith Edition. I'll be honest with y'all, but I'd like to divulge that at the beginning, just so y'all kind of know. So first things first, the big question: performance. How's it hitting performance? Well, two things I want to say. A, load-in time is longer. Not much, maybe about a minute longer. Nothing big. And along with that, the first time you load in, it's gonna take just expect like 10 to 15 minutes extra time from the time you start up to the time you get in your flight. I know it's the first time I launched my game without it, or with it, sorry. And it took me about an extra 5 to 7 minutes to launch the game, and then I probably had another about 5 to 7 minutes loading into this game the first time with the RJ, which is something they warned about. You'll have like 3 or 4 messages about that. Hey guys, this is what you should expect. If it's taking longer, don't be worried. Second part of the performance is I'm only losing about 5 frames compared to what I would be on, say, like the A320 or any of the stock aircraft, which is huge. As you can see, it's still pretty smooth. I have a 2080 Ti and an i7-9700K, so I have a probably mid to top tier system, and I'm maxed this out. This is the prettiest I think I can get the game to look, and the reason I did this is I wanted to see really on some of the upper systems how the performance goes. Overall, probably lost 5 frames max. Now I do have a little bit of stutter when I first switch from like the cockpit to third person, which I usually have that happen with most aircraft. I think most people do. It's just, you know, initial 2-second little stutter, and then it's smooth. So overall, not bad performance-wise. I will say this: if you're a little worried about performance, maybe wait a little bit. It'll get, you know, the good thing about having it out now is there's a lot more people with it, so Airsoft and maybe a Sobo on their end too can do some stuff to hopefully optimize it if you have a lower end PC. So we're looking at the 550 right now because identically the 550 and the 700, as far as I understand, are exactly the same minus the amount of passengers they're ready to hold and the maximum takeoff weight. The 550 is just a derated version of the 700 for United Express, so they can get around their pilot scope clause. Kind of fancy way of saying they can't have more than X number of planes that fly 50 seats compared to that. So long story short, it just has 50 seats on a plane that's been told 76 and lower takeoff weight. So visually, as far as I know, no difference. So let's go ahead and take a look at the cockpit. And the first thing I want to take a look at is this bad boy right here. We'll just go click on it. And this is the electronic flight bag with the beautiful Aerosoft logo there. And wow, it looks nice. So first things first, here we have all the different checklists. Doesn't look like it's interactive, which is kind of not a big deal. Now let's see, taxi. I imagine that underscore will probably be changed when it's either A, set, so when you decide the flaps you're going to run, or the flaps that are set to. So kind of sad it's not interactive, but I'm happy. It's still beautiful. I'll take that. Let's take a look. So here we have the performance, which I think this is like what we had on the P3D version of this, where you can, let's see. It could be because we're start our flight. So you are able to change this. This is where you would change the payload and everything. And then coming over here, we have our runway conditions, the flaps we're using, which is very nice. sorry about that, had a cough, and our landing speeds as well. So you can just hit set or set all those, which is nice. The one thing I personally like, which is not really a necessary thing, is this bad boy right here. It just helps you visualize where your aircraft is in terms of performance weight. So you have your maximum zero fuel weight, landing weight, takeoff weight, max ramp weight. And this little green thing will change depending on your actual weight. So if you're pushing up here, then you're pretty heavy. But if you're down here, you're gonna be a pretty light aircraft. So I love all of this right here because this allows you to essentially just get in the sim, click a few buttons, and you're good to fly. If you just want to fly around, maybe not even using autopilot, and even if you want to use autopilot, you can use it just simple heading and altitude, and just have some fun and enjoy a nice little flight. Next one is the aircraft, which this looks to be where we can select all the settings. So we're just going to go ahead and open everything. Ooh, we can adjust the cabin lights. That's cool. Let's get the ground, air cart, service door open, ground power cart. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a quick look. Oh, yeah, looks beautiful. I like that. Stairs, walked up and down those stairs on this aircraft and the 200 tons of times. And let's see. So, if this... Okay, so this is cool. This allows you to use jetways with this aircraft. It just puts the stairs out. Small little touch. Yeah, honestly, it wouldn't bother me if they didn't put it in. I like it. The other thing I've noticed, which is huge to me, is this aircraft state. So we have cold, dark, turn around, ready for takeoff, and ready for taxi. So that makes it super simple. So you can just jump in and select what you want to start out as. So if you want to do the entire procedure, you have cold and dark. If you want a little more, you have turn around. If you want to be pretty much ready to push back, you have ready for startup. You have taxi if you just want to go. So that's awesome. I like that. Let's check out the maintenance. So, okay, nothing here really is like big to me. I don't really fool with maintenance, but it's cool they have some options. Reset brake temperature. So I wonder if we haven't if they brought in the having to deal with brake heating. I know some of the PMDG aircraft in P3D had that where your brakes could lock up if you brake too hard on landing. So that's cool. I love that. I'm always down for more realistic stuff like that. Because for me, I'm not the best pilot in the world, but I do, I'm as good of a pilot as the aircraft is. I can't word it correctly, but I like stuff like having to think about brake temperature because, when I did FSX, I would never really worry about having to, not just full brake off the bat, but, once I got into P3D, and hopefully in Flight Sim 2020, that's a new dimension you have to think about, something new, something more realistic, so I love that type of stuff. And let's take a look at the options. So, so we can change the temperature units, pounds, IRS align time. So if you want to go realistic, quick, or instant, I think I'll put instant, yoke sensitivity, and let's see. Ooh, a bunch of just other things. Okay, that's awesome. I like that. Super simple, super easy, and I like how you can really select this to kind of be a lot more, built around your level, you're wanting to fly. So if you really want realistic, there's a lot of options in here that can make this realistic. But if you're like me, that wants realism, but still without having to do like the extra stuff, like the having to align IRS, that's pretty awesome. So we'll just hit save. So let's take a look around the cockpit. So I'm not going to power her up now because I think that's another video. But the one thing I want to do is let's click a few buttons. Okay, so they sound nice. I know that's a kind of weird thing to say, but the buttons sound nice. That's a big thing. Some aircraft where it's just a little, like a very small little sound. So it sounds nice. Okay, so the one thing that's always been a big thing for me is switches, and I'll explain why. So, when you're flying, especially an aircraft like this, where I feel like a lot of the buttons and switches are kind of mashed together. Um, you know, you have landing lights, external lights. You have a bunch of buttons here. Um, you know, if I peek up one and flip a switch, then look back down, it's nice having, that's a very distinct little sound that those switches have. So it's very easy to be like, okay, you know, it's switched. Key is, you know, you gotta make sure you do the right one. So I'm liking this. Okay, all the buttons sound nice. Ooh, yeah. See, I'm a sucker for the small things like that. Let's see, how does the speed brake sound? And flaps. No sound from the engines, which I was suspecting. Okay, I like it. All the sounds are kind of very distinct, which is very nice. So what we're going to go ahead and do is I will catch you on a second. I'm going to go ahead and take her to the runway, and we're just going to do a very quick, simple flight. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, and we are on runway 28 Center here at O'Hare. And I'm just going to do a quick little setup here in the electronic flight bag. So we're going to be pretty much set up like a ferry flight. I just want to see how she will, how fast she'll go and get off the ground. So let's hit performance, and let's just zero this out, zero that out. And we'll do 4,000 pounds, set payload simulator. Okay, flaps are going to be 8. Let's set all, so A. B, oh wow, 124. That's what our rotate speed's supposed to be. Okay, we're flaps 8. Let's make sure our parking brake is off. And I'm going to be quiet so we can hear the engines. And she is already pulling up on her own, so we're going to pull back some. Beautiful. So, it's been about 2 months since I've been in an RJ, but from what I remember, this is pretty accurate for how it sounds. I've never been in the cockpit, but being in the cabin. Okay, so let's pull back on the thrust, because she isn't going. So we're going to set flap 0. And we're just gonna take her and do a few turns. Let's just see. So, the first thing I'm noticing is I'm not really having to fight her. It's not, you know, the plane's it's flying smooth, which I think is a testament to how much work Aerosoft put into this. Because honestly, it's flying better than any of the default aircraft, at least in my experience. Let's do another little turn. Oh yeah, she's flying smooth. I'm having to fight a little bit to nose her down, but that can be counteracted with just trimming her out. But yeah, no, she's smooth. I barely turn to the right. She levels out. Let's pull back a little bit on the throttle, see how she climbs. And out the window, it looks good. Sorry, that was on me with my joystick. I do like this window view. It's nice. It's unobstructed. Let's give her a little more power. So overall, I think this is a pretty good aircraft. Let's give her a nice little turn. And there we go. Nice little stutter, but not bad. We're getting a few stutters, but like I said, I wanted to max out my sim to really push it to the limits to see how much this would affect my the smoothness and how much it affected the quality of the sim. And overall, it's not really hurting me too much. So, you know, I think this is a good place to call it. So, we just actively pause her and yeah, enjoy a nice little outside view. Well, guys, I thank you for joining for this flight. Until next time, you have a good one, and I would highly recommend picking this up if you feel comfortable enough in your computer running it. So until next time, you have a good one, and goodbye.